Hi, everyone. I see a lot of people coming in from the waiting room. So as everyone's filtering in, welcome. Good afternoon. My name is Hala Alawi, and on behalf of Atmosphere Press, we thank you so much for taking the time to join us virtually today for this free webinar on book promotion in 2023. Today, you'll be hearing from our guest speaker, published writer and Atmosphere's Book Publicity Director, Cameron Finch. Cam will discuss the ins and outs of meaningful book publicity in today's publishing climate, and you'll walk away with actions to discover and connect with your own readers. Whether you have a publication forthcoming or a book you've published years ago, you'll learn ways in which you can make a rewarding difference for yourself in getting your book out there, as well as how a publisher such as Atmosphere supports and promotes our authors. You'll also be able to ask Cam questions about how you can launch your book meaningfully into the world, whether you have a publisher or are entirely self-published. This is what we're all about here at Atmosphere. Founded in 2015 by Nick Courtwright, an author and PhD in literature, Atmosphere Press is the only publisher who puts rewarding and meaningful author experiences above all else. We've published nearly 1,000 books. Our authors have won dozens of awards, and our books have reached the hands of tens of thousands of readers. In the chat, you'll find a link to our Book Boost interest form. We're curious to hear what promotional activities are of interest to you and how you'd like your book to impact your audience. If you fill that out, we'll personally reach out to you to get the book promotion conversation started. You can also find this form and more about our Book Boost packages by visiting our website, www.atmospherepress.com. Again, during the webinar, if you have a question for Cam, go ahead and type it in the Q&A box at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and we'll get to as many questions as possible during this short time we have together. With that, I am thrilled to introduce our guest speaker. Cameron Finch is a cross-genre writer, poet, reader, and creative living in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Cam received an MFA in Writing and Publishing at Vermont College of Fine Arts and a BA in English Literature at the University of Michigan, and has worked with the editorial and marketing teams of various presses and literary journals, including McSweeney's, Dzanc Books, Rizzoli New York, Archipelago Books, Isele Magazine, Hunger Mountain, Mount Island, and Midwestern Gothic. Cam currently serves as the Book Publicity Director of Atmosphere Press and as an editor on the Tiny Molecules literary journal Masthead, and previously worked for the Brooklyn Book Festival. Cam's creative prose, poetry, and author interviews have appeared in Lambda Literary, The Rumpus, The Adroit Journal, Electric Literature, Michigan Quarterly Review, Entropy, Glass Poetry, Heavy Feather Review, and elsewhere. So with all of that, Cam, the stage is yours.
Thanks so much for that intro, Hala, and welcome everybody. Thanks so much for taking the time to be here today and tune in. And I'm eager to hear from you all after this talk as well, and definitely keep the conversation going. I first just want to start this conversation with from a place of genuine support. Book promotion is a huge topic, and it's a competitive world out there. And so I just want to say that whether you're in the process of writing a manuscript right now, publishing a book actively, or you're a publishing veteran, you wrote a book, and that is absolutely something to celebrate. Just by committing to that process, you have a huge promotional tool within you. Your belief and your advocacy for the power and impact of your words is so essential to the rewarding experience you're embarking on. As you know, there are many factors that can be unknown and unpredictable in this world. Reader reactions, market trends, a pandemic. So you can control your dedication to the hard work and energy and love that you've already poured into this project. So I just want to start there that, I hope you take this nourishing mindset with you throughout this talk and onwards as you craft your own promotional strategies. So book promotion is a huge topic. So I am going to talk about three main questions that I'm often asked. One, what is book promotion and why do we do it? 2, what are the different modes of promoting your book and your author platform? And with all the options out there, how do you decide which activities to focus on? And then 3, what can publishers and publicists do to help advocate for their authors? And specifically what we do here at Atmosphere. So let's dive right in. What is book promotion and why do we do it? So the words marketing and publicity can sometimes feel maybe a bit sterile or impersonal or maybe even scary. And we propose a reframing of that language with a focus on building rewarding and meaningful experiences. Promoting your work does not have to be slapping your book on an ad and leaving it there, hoping someone will see it. It's really about actively connecting with the people that you most want to impact, which may not be everyone in the world. And you're opening up very specific opportunities for you to discover your people and for people to discover you and celebrate the stories you have to share. With all of that in mind, I do just want to say a few words on sales. Sales, of course, play an important role in book promotion. Sales numbers can indicate that a book is hitting its stride with a particular audience or a particular promotional activity was effective. Sales are one of many indicators that a book is being seen, but I caution authors to not obsess over sales. Not only can a hyper focus on this lead to burnout and disappointment if numbers fail to reach our expectations, but I have also seen it lead to a loss of purpose for many writers. Which is not something we wish for for anyone. And so alternatively, you might use your sales numbers to keep a general pulse on how things are going, but use this question as your guiding light. What was your initial motivation for dedicating years of your life to writing this book? You could have done many different things with your time, but yet you persisted and gave yourself to this project. Ask yourself, who are you writing for? Who do you want to help? Who have you already helped? Maybe you're writing for legacy, to have a story to gift to your family's next generation. Maybe you're writing for a career move and your book will give your resume a leg up in the world. Maybe you're writing for social change and this book is your contribution to building a better future for yourself and for others. These motivations are driving why you're promoting your book. Promotion is not a self-serving event. Really focus on how your book might touch and benefit others. And I'm really focusing on this because understanding who you are serving and the issues you care about will only make future decisions easier for you as you craft your promotional strategy and begin seeking effective placements for your book. So with all that in mind, what are the different ways that you can promote your book and how do you choose what activities are specific to your project? At Atmosphere, we send a book promotion survey to every author we work with. And this is something that I really recommend all authors do, a kind of self-evaluation many times throughout your book's lifetime. And I say many times because your relationship to your book and your audience and your promotional technique may evolve over time. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. In this survey that we give authors, we ask authors to do some real soul searching and goal orienting. We ask questions like, what kind of promotional activities are even of interest to you? Do you want to know what others think of your book and seek out book reviews? Are you already have a presence on social media and do you want to engage with influencers and reviewers on there? Do you love to talk? Do you want to talk about your book on podcasts? Do you love the energy of in-person events? Do you want to send a bunch of emails and texts to every person you've ever met in your life with the purchase link to your book? All of these are possibilities and you don't have to do them all. So really take stock in what you want to do and what you're good at. And then start with those activities first because they won't feel like a chore. you've already got these skills, and now you're just using them to talk about this awesome book that you're an expert on. You also don't have to do these things alone. Think about the people who have been supportive of you from the beginning and give them a job. Provide them with an early PDF or print copy of your book. Ask them to tell 20, 30, 50 of their friends. Ask them to post the book cover and link on their social media. Ask them to engage their connections, their book clubs, their venues they work at. And all of these activities are also things that you can do for yourself too. Ask yourself which spaces, platforms, institutions, employers, alumni associations that you already have an established relationship with. Tap into these networks who already support your work and can help you make your book known to interested and invested parties. And the last question that we ask on this survey is a very serious question. How much do you personally want to market your book? And it's not a shameful question. All answers are valid. And those answers can range from, yes, I'm treating this book as a full-time job. I will work on promoting it 24/7, to the complete opposite, that promotion seems utterly horrifying and I'd really love it if someone else did it for me, to a hybrid approach where you, the author, want to do a ton and you want to work with professionals who will also do a ton, and together big splashes will occur. So knowing your response to this answer will be key for my next point, which is, if you want to work with professionals, what can those publishers and publicists do to help leverage the work you're doing and help advocate for your book? So I can speak for what we do here at Atmosphere. We are excited to offer authors published by our press, as well as authors published elsewhere, a number of publicity opportunities, and we call these our book boosts, where our publicity team works with you and for you to get your book the notice and recognition it deserves beyond your personal network. It's a super collaborative process, and we take into consideration how active a role an author wants to have in the promotion experience, as well as an author's comfort level with certain types of more extroverted activities. We never want to pressure our authors to not be their authentic selves, to do readings or interviews that they don't want to do. But nevertheless, we will be encouraging and offer opportunities for authors to stretch their wings as they feel ready to do so. So our Book Boost programs, along with creating press releases and providing coaching and resources, we focus on three major things. Landing nationally recognized reviews, which can be added to your book's online presence and create visibility for industry professionals to find out about your book. We coordinate advertisements and placements on social media, Amazon, Goodreads, NetGalley. These are critical online platforms where books are discovered and bought. And most of all, we set authors up for success with our publicity team, who will help navigate and support you week by week through your book's journey, no matter when your book was or will be published. And this is the accountability part that I think it's helpful to remember, that it takes a village, truly. You'll be working with a group of dedicated professionals, and that can often make it easier for an author to stay motivated, to keep on keeping on, and remembering that core belief of in your work, stoking that fire. So I'd quickly love to just tell you about some of the amazing things that have happened to our boosted authors. We've had an author featured on a Times Square billboard, which was that unpredictable element. And we've had 4 Atmosphere books that were featured in Kirkus Review's top 100 indie books of the year, which was huge. Our books have been reviewed in the LA Review of Books, Midwest Book Review, book list by the American Library Association, Lambda Literary, and our books have won all sorts of awards, including the Mom's Choice Awards. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. But yeah, whether you're looking for pre-publication reviews and buzz, or you're looking for a boost of exposure months after your debut, our promotional work at Atmosphere is really created to help you find readers, to help readers discover you, but mostly to empower authors to, again, remember why you love to write, so that you can continue sharing your story with clarity and confidence. And you never know, you may be building a foundation for your forthcoming writing projects too. So definitely make sure to click the boost your book interest form that's in the chat if you have a book out. And if you don't have a book out yet, we have a free manuscript submission link. And we'd love to hear from you wherever in the process you find yourself, and consider your work and see if you're eligible for continuing to get your book out into the world. So with that, I'd love to hear what questions you all have, and I will turn it back over to Hala.
Thank you so much, Cam. At this point in the webinar, we do have time for our audience Q&A. So if you have a question, please go ahead and type it in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and we'll do our best to get to as many as we can. So let's just jump right in. The first question for you, Cam, is what is your advice for authors who are introverted and don't feel comfortable putting themselves out there in the public?
That's a question that I actually empathize greatly with as a writer. The good news is that there are a lot of different ways that you can put yourself out there and engage with your audience besides standing in front of people with all eyes on you. Social media is really one way that you can keep that sort of boundary, the screen as a boundary, and engage with people at the pace that you feel comfortable with. Also, if you're writing on particular topics, writing essays that are sort of book adjacent and then placing those online can be a really great way of engaging with your particular audience and deepening your expertise in that field. Remember that every single time that you have a piece published online, whether it's a review, an interview, an excerpt, your author bio is going to be included in that. And your author bio will say that you are the author of book. And you can include your website there and really drive traffic for people to find more about your writing. Another way that I would recommend for authors who want to engage more with the writing side of things than the kind of interpersonal way would be to do Q&As or written interviews. A lot of bloggers and literary journals have interview opportunities where you or your publicist will send the copy of your book to their masthead. The interviewer will read your book, craft thoughtful questions about the book, but also about you as an author, and you'll have time to edit your responses and bring insight to your writing process. Maybe if you're writing a series, you can write about the trajectory of where the arc of the series is going. Bring background, why things that didn't make it into the book, and it can just create a fuller picture of who the author is, but with the distance and more control over that. You're bringing insight that a reviewer or a reader even doesn't know about your book. So those are some tips I would recommend.
Yeah, definitely. Another question has come in asking about the different book boost tiers and how do I pick one?
Yeah, so we have a number of book boosts. We have 4 different options, and you can check them all out on our website. Um, and they range in duration from 1 month to 4 months. With the 4 month plan, the supercharged plan, of course, having the most amount of outreach and items included. And a reason why you know we work with authors of all who come to us at different points in their process, who maybe already have obtained several reviews, or they've done a lot of advertisements and are looking to kind of fill in the gaps. Which maybe I would recommend the 1 month version if they wanted to kind of, if their books has been out for 2 years and they're kind of trying to reboost. Or we also have authors who writing is not their full-time gig. Maybe they work, or they have a family, or all of the above. And it goes back to that question of, how much do you personally want to do? So many of our authors who choose the full-blown, biggest and brightest package, you know, don't have the time to do publicity on their own, and so they make a decision based on, there's a kind of burden that is lifted off of them, knowing that they can still live their life and their book will be taken care of by a professional team.
Yeah, you started answering this next question with that last response there, but another question comes in asking, why should I pay someone to be my publicist and how much will publicity cost me?
Yeah, the money question is really important. And, as I started alluding to, there are free promotion ways, kind of networking with the connections you've built throughout your lifetime, leaning on your good friends and support system to help you with their connections. But yeah, publicists are professionals in the industry. They are making a living too. And so it is a service that they're providing, which is why people pay publicists. But there's a whole range in different types of programs that are offered by different companies. And I really recommend that before you commit to a publicity program, to really do your research, read the testimonials on their website, look at who you'll be working with, look at, once you've done your self-evaluation of what types of activities and what you're looking for in types of support, check out their programs and see if that fulfills your needs. And our programs range from $1,000 to $5,000, and the $5,000 is the biggest and brightest for 4 months. And which is, a reasonable amount for paying your publicists. We have a duration of time, so you're never locked in for 8 months with the publicity team. We are really into that sort of reassessing how things are going. If we need to, you can start with 2 months, and if things are going well and you're enjoying our team, and you'll have all these achievements already that you can look at and evaluate if you want more, if you want to switch tactics. So that is, I guess, how I would answer that question. Yes.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of great insights in there, and I think, yeah, that was a great response. Another question has come in. I think this is something we're all always wondering, which is, do I have to be on social media to promote my work?
Yeah, it's a good question for 2023. The answer, the true answer is no. There are plenty of people out there who do just fine without social media, and that's maybe because they have hit upon where their particular skill is. They know that maybe they don't feel as comfortable or authentic on social media, and so for them, hitting in-person events really hard, and that's how they make sales. That's how they make their true connection, and that can totally work for authors. However, social media does have its benefits, of course. It's a free platform. It's a really great way of broadening your reach with anyone from literary agents to connecting with publishers to other authors. You can build connections between other authors in your genre, and that can create some great cross-pollination. Again, it's like that increased visibility. You're online. You're creating more search engine optimization for yourself. Anytime that you share a link on social media to your own website or your blog, that can lead to more traffic and higher search rankings. It's also, it's a really quick and easy way to share links to your book on Amazon or your website. You can offer discounts or giveaways to your followers and reward them for engaging with and sharing news about your book. It's a networking tool, and so it's definitely something to look into. And there are also ways to pay someone else to do your social media for you. So again, it's not something that you have to embark on alone.
And we've got time for just one more question. So real quick, Cam, if I haven't published my book yet, what do I do first?
If you haven't published your book first, I would recommend, enjoy the writing process, first of all. And once you have a manuscript, find yourself a way to get your manuscript published, whether that is, submitting it to a publisher like Atmosphere, or, of course, there are other ways to, publish these days on your own. And as you're going through the publishing process, you'll even through the editorial process, as you're working on your cover design, all of those will funnel into the promotion plan. How you determine what your cover design will look like. You're influencing how readers will react to your work. And so I just say, focus on writing and enjoy the publishing process itself, and the promotion will come.
Yes, definitely. Great action points and things to be thinking about for everyone in the audience, thinking about their next steps in their publishing journey. I do just want to note that this video is being recorded, so if you would like to review it later, take more detailed notes perhaps, or just revisit something we discussed here, you'll be able to find that on Atmosphere Press's YouTube channel at a later date. But for now, I just want to say thank you again so much to Cameron Finch for sharing your time and your wisdom today. And of course, thank you to everyone for being here in the audience and for your thoughtful questions. If you're a writer looking for a rewarding and meaningful book publishing and promotional experience, go ahead and check out the links in the chat and visit us at atmospherepress.com. There on our website, you can view our publicity services, submit a manuscript, and sign up for our email newsletter so you can hear about more events like this one. You can also browse our new and forthcoming releases, meet the humans behind Atmosphere Press, and check out our testimonials in which you can read our authors' publishing journeys in their own words. We look forward to staying in touch with all of you, and on behalf of Atmosphere Press, have a great rest of your week, everyone. Thank you so much.